5 mistakes that you might be making with your fragrances that today you're going to want to stop. Hello, beautiful besties. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time watching, I'm Cheraye. Welcome. If you happen to be returning, you are truly, truly appreciated. I love you like cook food. Thank you so much. And welcome back, besties. Today, I have 5 mistakes to share with you that you could be making that could be preventing your fragrance from lasting or altogether could be you wasting your money. If you want to see what these are, please continue to watch. Here on this channel, I do cover fashion, beauty, luxury, lifestyle, all things fancy and fabulous. So if that sounds like something you'd be into or you want to be a part of, stop what you're doing. Drop me your scent of the day because I want to know what you're rocking. And if this seems like your vibe or your zhuzh, go ahead and consider hitting the subscribe button. Come over and say hi on Instagram. Without further ado, we're jumping into this video right now. Hey, besties. Okay, so you guys, listen. When you see my notes like this, that means I have something to say, okay? I have something to say. I can't be doing a whole lot of talking and kikiing because I'm trying to stay on task. Okay, so you guys, here are 5 mistakes you could be making. And this is a love video. I was requested by so many of you, so this is like a requested video from all the besties. Can you break down some of the fragrance terminology? Can you put it into words, layman's words, as my grandmother would say, where it's easy to understand? That's what I'm about. Like, I love fragrance, but a lot of the stuff I'll be like, okay, just give it to me plain because all the extra, I don't need it. So here we go. First question I was asked was EDP and EDT. Girl, I don't know what that means. I got you. EDP is Eau de Parfum. Now, I don't speak French. Never claimed to. It's not what I do. I speak English. Barely. Anyways, so EDP is just Eau de Parfum. That's all it is. Now, EDT is Eau de Toilette. A perfume has a higher oil concentration than an eau de toilette, which has less oil concentration. We'll get into that in another video, but those two I was asked on a daily basis, so I wanted to cover that. That's all it means. I will put a little bit of literature in the description box below as well for those of you that like to read and have it for reference, okay? All right, I'll move on. Step number 1, or mistake number 1, I should say, over spraying your fragrance or under spraying your fragrance. What? Girl, I know she didn't say over spraying. Yes, you guys, I did. Not all fragrances need to be over sprayed, and not all fragrances need to be under sprayed. You have to know the difference between your fragrance. So sometimes someone could be saying, this fragrance doesn't last on me, and sometimes somebody could be saying, this fragrance does last on me. It could all be in the application of how you were spraying the fragrance. Fragrances are not created equal, therefore you have to spray them accordingly. Example, Nicheraye Nefs. This is a very bold, heavy hitter, strong fragrance in itself. You do not need to overspray this. I do, but it's unnecessary. You don't need to. 2 to 3 to 4, just depending on your liking, and you're good to go. Now, another fragrance that I would say you do need to overspray, and this is all my opinion, let's be clear about that as well, would be this. This is Jo Malone. This is Wood Sage and Sea Salt. 2 totally different type of fragrances. I definitely overspray this one because it doesn't last as long, and at the same time, it just doesn't have the longevity or the depth, or it's not the same type of fragrance as this. So this is a heavy hitter. This is more of an easy reach anytime, anywhere, any place, every day. And it's lighter in my opinion. So I won't spray this one as heavy as I'll spray this one, and vice versa. I'm definitely not going to need to spray this one as much as I would spray this one. I know. What I'm saying to sum it up is that this is a heavy hitter and this is an easy reach in my opinion. This doesn't need to be oversprayed in my opinion, but this one does. That is what it is. Not every fragrance is created equal, so know your fragrance when you pick it up and decide. Like this one right here, Tuberose Asali. Oh my God, I could be saying this wrong. I'm gonna link it because y'all need to pick it up. Even if you start with a sample, you need to pick it up. I didn't need to overspray this. You guys, I oversprayed this because it was my first time trying it, so I went in. Then I went down, did a few videos, sat on the couch a little bit before we got ready to go out, and I was holding a pillow or sitting on the pillow. Somehow the pillow was all over me, right? The next morning, I went back downstairs, hanging out on the couch again, because that's my spot. And I was like, why is this pillow purring? Like, what is on it? It was this. It had gotten jumped off me onto the pillow, and now the pillow was purring. This is a very strong fragrance, and it's uber sexy and also good. So I would never spray this fragrance as heavy as I would spray this fragrance. It's not necessary. This is a lighter of the two, so I would spray them differently. Do not spray all your fragrances the same. Spray according to the fragrance. Okay, I move on. Hopefully you got that, y'all. I'm trying to stay on task and break it down. The next thing is hydrating and moisturizing and cleaning your body. I'm not saying it for clicks and giggles. Make sure you, gosh, girl, you don't really have to tell people to bathe because people know to bathe, but I'm gonna just say it anyway. Start with some soap and water. Just like when we do our makeup, hopefully, we start on a clean, fresh palette. Then we moisturize it, put our skincare on, put our under eye cream on, put our sunscreen on, and then what do? We go in with the base of the makeup, the foundation, right? Same way we're gonna do our fragrances. Hold on, let me make sure I'm on task. I'm on my notes. Okay, yes. You want it to perform longer, you want it to last longer, ensure you're putting your fragrance on moisturized skin. I love Kama Sutra. You know they came out with a new one, right? Don't worry, I'm gonna have it in the description box below along with a discount code. But this is my favorite, you guys. I've been talking about this for years. I've been talking about this for years and years and years, and I've been using it for years and years and years. When I say I use it on the daily, okay, I use it on a daily. I scrape it till it's gone. And my guy likes this too. So a lot of times I be having to hide it from him because he likes it too. He was like, oh, this is good and it smells good. This is so hydrating, so long lasting. And the thing that I really love about this, other than it smells so good, is that this helps with my eczema. I know I reached out to Skin Potions. They told me a long time ago why it did, all the ingredients in it. It works on my eczema. I put it on my legs, my eczema's gone. I don't have it. It hasn't been back in a really long time. Thank you, God. Yeah, and I attribute it to this. Albedo, Eucerin, whatever those other ones are, I invested in them all. They didn't work for me. This really did work. So this is very hydrating, very nourishing. It penetrates into the skin. It leaves my body soft. It leaves my body supple. Maybe you might have another type of lotion that you want to use. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that it's hydrating and it's moisturizing and it doesn't just sit on top of the skin, but it penetrates down into the skin. Once the body is clean, the body is supple, it is hydrated, it is moisturized, then you want to go in with your fragrance and spray it on. When you spray it on, a mistake you could be making is rubbing it together. I know, we've heard this 1,000 times. You'd be surprised how many times I'm out at department stores and still I see people spray their fragrance and the first thing they do before they even allow it to sit for a second, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 45 seconds, they're already doing this. We've heard that it disturbs the fragrance. It disturbs the molecules. You're rubbing the top notes together. You're not giving the middle notes and the bottom notes a time to seep into the skin and to develop. I don't know about any of that. I'm not a perfumist. I never claimed to be. But what I can tell you is that if you spray it here, instead of rubbing it together, just spray it here and let it alone. I had to learn that too because I grew up in an era where every time you sprayed it, you rubbed it together. It was like the thing to do. Oh my God. And it kind of looked fancy a little bit too until you found out like, we're not supposed to be doing that. So I will tell you, spray it here, let it alone. Give it some time to develop. Here's my next thing. Top notes are the first few in a fragrance. So when you hear top notes, that'll be something like, and this is just for reference. This isn't case by case. It's a case by case situation. Not every fragrance is going to start with bergamot and neroli. I'm just giving an example. So you might say your top notes are bergamot and neroli. Your middle notes, which are oftentimes referred to as well as heart notes, those will be the notes that are in the middle of the fragrance. Let's say it's cedar. Let's stick with notes we know. Let's say it's cherry, strawberry, and apricot. Okay. And white floral. Okay, those are the middle notes. Now let's go down to the base notes. And these notes are in the bottom of the fragrance where the fragrance is gonna lie. Sometimes fragrances will hit them all and it will never really change. How it goes on is how it's gonna stay. Sometimes it develops with your body chemistry, meaning how your body reacts to the fragrance, how it heats up and how it wears on it. You might get more of the middle notes. You might get more of the base notes. It's all a case by case situation. So in our base notes, let's say we have something like vanilla, musk, ambergris. Okay, those will be your base notes at the bottom of the fragrance. So that's why you want to let it alone when you spray it and not rub it together. Allow all of those notes to develop. I like to give myself anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour for a full actual wear test. During that hour, it should have went on my skin. It should have developed with my body chemistry, and the dry down should have happened by now. I'm gonna go back in and see what it is. Here's what I'm going to say. Some fragrances you will say, oh wow, that was a huge difference. It smelled different from how it initially went on to how it dried down on my body. Some fragrances you will say the same thing I sprayed and I smelled in the beginning is the same thing I smelled at the end in the dry down. There was really no change, and that's okay. That's okay as well. I just want you to know what top notes are, middle notes are, and base notes are, and why they are referred to the way they are referred to. Okay, so that's what that means. All right, let's move on. They are not all created equal. Every note will be doing something different. Every note will develop on you in a different way. So that's why we're not doing this. We're spraying, we're letting it alone, and we're moving on. And then we're gonna go back in and see what we smell, okay? Okay, great. All right, let's move on. Step 3, or mistake number 3 you could be making. Stop expecting your fragrances to last all day. Not every fragrance is going to last all day. Not every fragrance is a heavy hitter. Not every fragrance is a beast mode. Some fragrances will need to be reapplied. Don't penalize fragrances that are not meant to do what other fragrances can do. So that's like taking, I'm trying to get, come on girl, think of an analogy. Come on, think. That's like taking a donut and expecting it to be a muffin. It's not. They can both be used as a morning snack with your coffee, your treat, or after dinner dessert, but they're not the same. The muffin's gonna give you one thing and the donut's gonna give you something else. They're not created the same. They're not equal. They're not intended to be the same. And not all fragrance is intended to do the same thing, to last the same amount of time. You just have to know that going in. Some fragrances will last a beast of a time on me, and you can purchase the same fragrance from the same place, or you could even come over and visit and use my same fragrance, and you could be like, wow, Cheraye, you said it lasts all day. It didn't last on me but for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. We're different. I'm not you and you're not me. My body chemistry is my body chemistry and yours is yours. That's why I'm such a huge advocate of try before you buy, or try it first, get a sample, see how it's gonna develop and perform on you, because we're all different. Whenever I'm giving you longevity on a fragrance over here, oh girl, fix your clothes. I'm only giving you my experience, what I've experienced from the fragrance. Now, some people will experience the same thing, just like some people will say, that Milk Hydro Grip Primer, oh my God, it blurs all my pores and you can't see anything. It's the best primer ever. Then I have somebody going, the Hourglass Veil, is it called Veil? Yeah, Veil Primer. Oh my God, it's the best ever. And the Hydro Grip doesn't work for me. So one thing that tells me is that not everything is going to work for everyone. It's trial and error. So you have to decide, this works for me, this doesn't. This really performs long on me, this doesn't. Now, let's go to a fragrance like Cheraye, Eden Juicy Apple 01, okay? That fragrance is beautiful. I absolutely love it. It does not last a very long time on me. I'm gonna get maybe 2-3 hours, maybe 4 if I really overspray and I spray my clothes, and we're coming back to the spraying of the clothes part, so put a pencil in that right there. Circle back. Okay, I wish you guys were really here to remind me, because you know I'm gonna forget. But anyways, that fragrance does not give the best longevity on me, but I like it so much and I know what it is, so I show up and buy it, and I already know what it's gonna deliver because I like it. So if I want it to last longer, I don't mind taking a decant with me and reapplying it throughout the day. Now, something like Queen of Silk, I don't need to apply this again. Once I put this on, it is done. And I don't need to overspray it either. This is a beast on me. It is such a beautiful, dressy, gorgeous fragrance, but it is a beast on me. And I do not need to overspray it as I would with something like Cheraye Eden Juicy Apple 01. 2 totally different fragrances. I'm not expecting the same thing from them because they're not going to offer me the same thing. Know the fragrance, know what the expectation should be. Everyone is different. Try it and see what works best for you. Okay, I move on. Another thing, when we're trying to get our fragrances to last, a mistake that some people could be making is where you are placing the fragrance. Where are you spraying it? I have seen people spray and walk away, and that's fine if that's what you want. But I oftentimes hear people say, and Coco said it best, spray in the places that you want to be kissed. While I do love that, I also believe in spraying in your pulse points. Pulse points are places in your body that typically heat up and they give off. And when they engulf into your skin and your skin heats up, it gives off the fragrance. So pulse points would be, and I have a whole video on the channel, you guys, called Pulse Points, where to spray. You can spray here, you can spray behind, you can spray the down by your ankles, you can spray the back of your knees, the inner crack of your elbows, your wrists, you can spray there, you can spray your décolleté. It depends on you. I like to spray the swole of my back, the sway of my back. It's up to you. It depends on what you're gonna do that day too. I'm just saying. But those are all places that you want to spray. Make sure you're spraying your fragrances in your pulse point. Now, when I'm done spraying my fragrances in my pulse point, I will oftentimes finish up my fragrance with the sprinkler system. Not everybody's gonna do this. That's what I do. I also spray, lean in it, back into it, walk in front of it. It's what I do. It's my fragrance. I can spray how I want. I believe that everybody should spray when they want, as much of it as they want, what they want. It's your fragrance. Spray what makes you happy. And gosh, this makes me happy. Oh, it's good. You need this in your spring summer collection. I'm just telling you, you do. If you like fruity, apple, you need it, you need it, you need it. Okay, tip number 5, a mistake that you could be making. Number 5, I think. You guys, I don't know what number we're on, okay? Let's just talk now. So tip number 5, a mistake you could be making is how you're storing your fragrances. Fragrances should be stored in a cool, dark, dry place. I said what I said. A cool, dark, dry place is how your fragrances should be kept, should be stored. Fragrances are all around me in this room right now. The lights are on because I am filming in this room right now. When I am done, the lights will go back off, the room will be darker, and it will be cool, and it will be dry, and the fragrances will get the best shelf life of their life. Another way, you can keep them in the box. I forget when I have fragrances that I keep in the box, so I need them out on display, because if not, I will forget that they're there. And that's just not fragrances, that's everything in my life. I need things to be out, I need shoes to be seen, bags to be seen, I need earrings to be somewhere where I can look easy, ready to access, because if not, I'm gonna forget that I have it. So I need my things out in front of me. So storage is huge. So make sure you have little storage spots you can go to. They have great storage containers on Amazon where you can get some. They do have little cases like bookshelves, some open, some closed, and the ones that close are like, shelved inside too. So it could be dark, it could be dry, it could be cool in there. You do not want to store them in a hot place. You don't want to store them in front of a window. You don't want to store them in the bathroom. You want to keep them in a steady place, a cool, dry, dark, if it could be, steady place. That's going to give you the best longevity of your fragrance shelf life, I would say. So make sure you're storing your fragrance properly. Okay, I move on. Try before you buy. And give yourself time. Give yourself time with the fragrance. Try before you buy, and also allow the fragrance to happen and the dry down to happen. And I have a common mistake that I did. I went to Sephora when Ruby Orchid came out by Victor and Roth. And I walked into Sephora. It must have been seasoned because it had just come out, and I sprayed it and I took it right up to my nose. I'll tell you exactly what I did. I did this, and I said, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's not good. I don't like it. But I left it on me. And so I went through the mall and I did shopping, and I wasn't even thinking about it because immediately I had made up my mind, like, I don't want it. I think I even did like a little Instagram or something. I did an Instagram or something like, oh, I'm trying out the new fragrance. I don't really like it. And as I began to walk through the mall and I was shopping, I was trying on clothes and I was doing stuff, I was like, hold up. That is really good. It sat on me for a while. And then the brand sent one over and I started spraying it like crazy during one summer. And I was like, I absolutely love this. I spoke too soon. I didn't give it time to develop on me. I didn't give it time to sit with me. I sprayed it, immediately took it up to my nose and made a decision on something that hadn't even really developed yet for me to see if I liked it or not. So I would say, again, try before you buy. If you're not able to do that, shop at places that will allow a return or an exchange policy so that you can shop or exchange it for something else. When you're shopping for your fragrance, ask, what is your return policy? If I happen to get this and I do not like it, what would you do? A lot of times they'll say you can exchange it, we'll give you a store credit, or you can get something else, which are all the same things. Those are the places I like to shop with. If they're like, you're just stuck with it, I'm probably not gonna buy it because I don't like being stuck with stuff that I don't like. Okay, I move on. I brought these 2 fragrances for something. Okay, good. I almost forgot why I brought these 2. Here's the second thing. Not the second, 4th, 5th, 6th. You guys, I don't know what number we're on, okay? Who's counting? Leave it in the comment section. When you're spraying your fragrances on your clothes, I hear that a lot. Like, oh my God, Cheraye, you wear a lot of white. How do you spray it on your clothes and you don't get a stain? If you are wearing silk, if you are wearing, very, very thin material, you have to be extremely careful on what type of fragrance you spray on your clothes. You see this bottle here? This is a bottle of Tiffany Sheer. You see the color of the juice is white. The bottle is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? This is another beautiful fragrance for spring, summer. All right, and it won't break the bank. So this here, I can spray this on okay, I'm just gonna smell good today. This is not going to. It's white. I can spray this all over any white shirt and always hold it back about here. Nobody said spray it this close. Of course, anything you're gonna leave a spot, like residue of the fragrance, it might come out really strong. You wanna spray back here and then spray it like 12, 14 inches away. The fragrance mist, I do that. Now let me tell you, if I'm wearing all white or a lighter color shirt or silk or something really sheer or or like faux leather, I would never spray this coat on it. This is tobacco mandarin. This is hot and heavy. This is definitely not for spring summer, but the darker the juice, you see it? So I brought it to you so that you can see this juice. You see how dark this is? I would never take a fragrance like this and spray it directly on a white shirt. It just wouldn't do. It wouldn't work for me. I wouldn't even chance it, so I can't tell you what it would do because I would never chance to do this. Is there anything else? I think I'm gonna put a pencil in it. I don't want to give too much. Hopefully this video has been helpful, informative, semi-entertaining. I was trying to stay on task, you guys. I had a lot of notes here. Half of them I probably didn't even get to, but you know I don't like long videos. And this video is already 27 minutes. Oh my gosh, I gotta cut it down. I love you like cook food. I'll see you in the next one. Until next time, you know the drill. Be blessed, stay fit, and definitely stay fabulous. Thanks for watching. Bye.